Welcome children, this is your English teacher. I'm happy to see you all again. So in today's session we are going to continue the same modal verbs. In the last session we already learned about can and can't, could and couldn't, and also may. In the last class we learned about the usage of these modal verbs, and today we are going to start with should. Should, or we can also use, instead of should, we can use ought to. Both of this goes hand in hand because these two have the same usages. So first we are going to learn about should usages. It can be used to express an opinion or give advice or asking for advice in the present and future tenses. Should be used only in the present and future tenses, and it is used to express an opinion, or it also be used to give advice or also for asking advice. For example, we should all switch to solar energy. So it is a kind of opinion that we are giving. Should I take up this offer? So it is again asking for an advice. Should I take up this offer? So should usage, first one is express an opinion or give advice or ask for advice. It should be used only in present and future tenses. Next usage is expressing an expectation. Expressing an expectation, example, the negotiation should end soon. So it is an expression of expectation. It may or it may not happen. The negotiation may end, but here it should end soon. We are giving our own expectation because we don't want to listen it to. That's why it should end soon. Next usage for should is express your regret. I should have answered the question. So it is a kind of regret that we are showing. We may have faced, the person may have faced anything. That's why he should have answered the question, because he already might know that. That's why he is giving a regret for it. Expressing your regret. I should have answered the question. So these were three usage for should. We can also use ought to there. So the first usage is giving an opinion, giving advice, or asking for advice. Next one is expressing an expectation, and the third usage is express your regret. So these were the three usages of should: to express your regret, to express your expectation, and to express your opinion or give advice or to ask advice. You can use this modal should. So should can be used for three usages. Next one is must. The difference between should and must: expressing a necessity. So should is used to express an opinion. Here must should be used to express a necessity. I must take a break now. So it is a necessity to give expression. All these expresses your feel, right? So must is used to express a necessity. I must take a break now. Amusing that something is true. When you amuse that something is true, you can use must there. They must have all left the house. So the usage of must is to. They are expressing a necessity. Amusing that something is true. So again, should have three usages, that is expressing an opinion, giving advice or asking for advice, expressing an expectation, express your regret. These were the three usage of should. And must is used to express a necessity or amusing or something that you amuse at, it must be true. Then you can use must there. The example is they must all have left the house. So after seeing should and must, we are moving on to will now. Will. The usage of wills are formulation of future tense with all pronouns. So we can use all kind of pronouns before using or with this will. For example, express a possibility. May be, I will drop in and see you tomorrow. So I will drop you and see you tomorrow. So it is expressing a possibility. Maybe I will drop in and see you tomorrow. To predict something, we will be using will. I have a feeling that he will turn down my invitation. So it is a kind of prediction. Always will be used for future tense. I've already said that. So it is a prediction. Only with the possibility or prediction we can use will. And we have another usage also, make promise. I will not reveal the secret. So you can able to see the differences, children. Express a possibility. It is a kind of prediction. To express a prediction, we can use will. And to make a promise also, we can use will. And also, we can use this will for informal request, but not in formal situations. Which means informal request, we already have learnt it in can. Informal requests can be given only to the person those we have a close relationship with. That's why here also informal request will can be used. But of course, we should not use it in formal situations. Example, you will put the rubbish out, please. Will you put the rubbish out, please? So, to express a possibility, to predict something, and to make promises, we can use will modals. So, will modals is a formulation for future tense with all pronouns. I've said you already. All kinds of pronouns, we can use this will. And the usages are express a possibility, to predict something, and to make a promise. And also we can use it for informal requests. So next we are moving on to shall. Shall formulation of future tense with the pronoun I and we. That is the difference between will and shall. So shall with the formula, it is always like will, it is also used only for future tenses. So but for will, we can use for all the pronoun, and for shall, we will be using it only with I and we. It will be more formal and less than will. So, will is informal. Will modals will be used in informal request, but shall will be used in formal. It is more formal. Example, I shall not tell anyone what you said. You look exhausted. I shall let you rest. So another usage for this shall is offering to do something with the pronoun I in the question form. Shall I bring you my car? So it is a kind of offering that we are doing with to a pronoun I. So shall I bring you my car? What shall I prepare for you dinner? And also it is used for suggestion. That is, what shall I prepare for your dinner? So it is used for suggestions too. It is used for to do something, that is offering something, and it is used for suggestion. And another thing that we should notice, it is used only for formal thing, formal request or formal suggestions. So we have learnt about should, must, will and shall. Next we are moving on to would, the last model verb. Would. Would is habitual usage in the past. So how we are using will in future, the would will be used in the past. Example, when she was a child, she would sit under a tree and draw for hours. So habitual usage, we always learned that habitual usage will be in the present. Simple present will be using habitual usage, right? But for past habitual usage, in the sense, we will be using would over there. When she was a child, she would sit under a tree and draw for hours. And also it is used, could will be alternative, will act as alternative for this would also. An alternate to could to make polite requests. We already learnt in last class, could be used for polite requests in the past tense. So would can also be used as an alternate for that. Would you hold the line for a moment, or would you hold the line for a moment? So would or could can be used in alternate. And for polite request also would will be used. I would love to know more about your country. So for polite expression, it is not request. For polite expression, would will be used. So usage of would is 3. That is habitual usage in the past. And alternate to could, we already know. In polite expressions, would will be used. So these were the ideas. These were the usage of should, must, will, shall and would. And we have already learnt about could, can, could and may. Thank you, children.